Yeah, they have to find the Chozo statues and get the items there.
Yep, and those Chozo statues, so there's 21 Chozo statues, plus we also include the Morph Ball location, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get Morph Ball, and the boss reward items. So in this case, the Various Suit, the Wreck Ship Supers, Right Side Supers, and the E-Tank behind Ridley. Of course, Dragon has a boss reward item, but it's already a Chozo statue.
Right, so I don't know how much experience our runners have with Chozo Randomizer. I believe Owl and Sloaters were both in the last Chozo show
Yeah,
match.
I believe so. I don't remember if Pete played. I do believe Rossu definitely played, and we definitely had the fun experience of Rossu having no idea what he was doing to start.
Oh, I remember Rossu checking all the items that weren't Chozo items and then
Yep,
winning anyways.
yep, he did.
So we'll see if the same thing happens again. But anyways, before we get to that, we get the super fun. Everybody doing the standard go to morph, because as it turns out, you can't really do anything without items. So you
Yep.
got to get your basic items first.
Yep, and one of the things that Chozo does is the morph ball has to be morph ball. Because since the ceiling E tank is no longer a major item, so we're gonna see morph ball here. So there's no guessing.
So one thing I'm not totally clear about, so the missile, that is also in a Chozo statue in
Yes.
the Alpha Missile location. So
Yep.
that can be a major item as well.
Yep. It should be a major item, but it could be, especially this early, it could be one of their ammo items to allow for progression.
Right. So as far, if I remember correctly, as we see, it is just missiles. None of the minor items are technically in logic. So your first missile, first super, first power bomb, or first intended those
Yes.
items have to be at a Chozo statue.
Yes. And in particular, Hell runs, which need 4 tanks to be in logic. You'll find 3 of the E tanks at Chozo statues to put a Hell run in logic, but you will be guaranteed a minor location E tank as well.
And here's
Well,
an
having to go with the backup.
interesting little consequence of that, I would say, since the game apparently wants them to find super missiles and power bombs, it's put double E-tanks at both the ceiling E-tank and beta missiles.
Yeah,
so
it is interesting.
we are not going to see any more major items yet, or minor items, I should say. That also means bombs, if I'm not mistaken, has to be something to get them out of criteria. That would be
Yep.
power bombs, vanilla bombs, speed booster, or screw attack.
Yep,
Unless
it
there's
could
something else I'm not thinking of.
Yeah, it has to be one of those 4. So unlike in the regular logic that we're used to with major minors, that location can be power bombs, whereas in major minors it would have to be one of the other 3.
All right, so we will see. I'm always excited to see some vanilla BT fights because, I hate going fast or something.
Well, I like seeing when I'm not doing them. But yeah, this would be as vanilla as you can get because they only have the 5 regular missiles. So if these are bombs coming up, then yeah, we'll see the vanilla any percent BT fight.
We'll get to see who has the most experience with that. It's Sloaters, by the way.
Yeah.
But he's also using a alternate sprite, so he might mess something up.
And it is bombs.
It is bombs.
But the nice thing about bombs is they can choose to go to Gauntlet, that is a Chozo location. They can choose to go to 230 missiles, that is a Chozo location. So they have extra options.
Right, and I would imagine, obviously I don't know, but I would imagine one of those is going to be a super missile or a power bomb, but that's just me guessing. Nice BT fight from Sloaters, like I said. He is the most experienced any percent runner of the bunch, so...
Oh, by far and away, yeah.
He definitely knows how to do a vanilla BT fight. Everyone else having pretty decent fights. Owl getting a little bit caught up, but not too bad.
Okay, Sloater's heading straight to 230 missiles.
Yep, and we'll see if I called it or if I called it.
Pete
What do you
heading
know?
down to Terminator. And it is a power bomb. So that's going to hurt Pete, because that's going to be the intended first power bomb pack.
Right. So I
Rossu and
believe
Owl all doing that. Pete the only one that didn't. So yeah, it could be a while before Pete finds his power bombs.
right. I don't know how the logic works with giving ammo after giving the initial ammo pack. So
Yeah, I believe there is no specific logic for it. It's just kind of filled in. And Sloater's going to go check Gauntlet.
yeah, it looks like Rossu is also. We'll see if Owl decides to as well. I like the call. They have a lot of energy and they have bombs, so it's fairly safe.
Yeah, especially with that extra power bomb pack. There's a few places where just doing this with bombs is pretty dangerous, and you can just save your power bombs for those locations. I find the back half to be, if it's me, I save my power bombs for the back half.
And Pete getting a third E-tank at the early supers location. Needs a little bit more ammo to get through the door back here, which he gets. So we'll see if any of the ammo he desires is back here. There's Spring Ball.
Oh, that's nice. Sloaters will be excited to see that.
Yeah, Sloater's a big Spring Ball fan. Yeah, he likes the item. There's a fourth E-tank.
Oh, all these E-tanks. And it's just Spazer. Oof. But at this point, it's nice to have. I mean, it's better than nothing. I would pick up Spazer in this situation. Don't have plasma yet.
Well, more importantly, they get 2 more minor item checks at the back of Gauntlet. So while it might not be required in logic, they could still get supers and some more power bombs there. So we will see what happens.
But yeah, to your earlier point about in logic items on Chozo statues, the idea is that you should be able to just go to Chozo statues and Chozo locations to beat the game and never have to check a minor item. Now, granted, 10-10-5 is the absolute minimum ammo count you do. It's what low percent does.
Right, and so nothing actually interesting at the back of Gauntlet, just some vanilla missiles. So no super missiles have been found in the seed, and that may mean we could be headed for Spore Spawn.
Yeah, they gotta show up pretty soon. The only other locations that we could find them is, well, they're not Chozo locations, so I feel like this almost has to be like this or Spore Spawn. One of them has to be a super missile, but there could also be super missiles at Old Mother Brain now that they have the power bombs to check it. There could be super missiles at the pipe in Green Hills, but those wouldn't be their logical first supers. I'm pretty certain it has to be Spore Spawn.
Yeah, it would appear that way.
And it looks like
course,
Pete.
there are
Pete's
a few couple spots, like you said.
Pete's gonna go back? No, Pete's gonna go check Spore Spawn, it looks like. With bombs, this isn't so bad. The save point is open, so you can save there in case you can't get out.
He might not remember he has bombs, or maybe just rando habits getting the better of him, and he's going back to the save. He could also be going all the way back to 230 missiles and Gauntlet.
Yep.
So that's actually pretty bad for Pizza. Unfortunately, we know he won't find anything, but maybe he also checks Billy Mays and pipe missiles to potentially find some of those super.
He will at least find his power bombs by going to 230 missiles.
Right, he will be happy about that, if nothing else. This has been a really energy-heavy seed so far, so if what you say is true, then pretty unlucky minor item spread, just energy so far. We're also actually gonna check the Chozo E-Tank, or not Chozo, Edakun E-Tank and Edakun Power Bombs to try to find super missiles out of logic. And it doesn't look like anybody else is. Sloaters definitely didn't, and Owl's not quite there yet. But
Yeah, having
I
that
don't know.
extra, he gets a power bomb pack out of it, and that at least helps him out. Having 2 power bomb packs instead of 1 is nice.
Yeah. We'll see if the Chozo power bombs are the play.
Let's see. And we have super
There they
missile.
are.
There they are.
And we actually see Owl getting a power bomb from the Firefly room, so he's also going to go down and get those super missiles.
He'll be happy to see those, assuming he does the full play and goes up that way.
And meanwhile, Sloaters actually gonna go to Spore Spawn. Of course, we know that super missiles have to be at Spore Spawn.
I believe that have to be there. If not, then I'm going to be talking to the Varia guys and making sure we have the full understanding of how this thing works. But like I said, this is why we're playing these on these weeklies, to make sure everybody gets a chance to play them or at least watch them, to see exactly what's going on with them.
Yep. So if that is the case, where first intended supers have to be at a Chozo statue and no other minor items can be forced, then these have to be super missiles, and we're actually going to find out now on Rossu's screen, as Owl also gets those Edakun supers.
So to answer the question about the PBs, were not out of logic because they were found at a Chozo statue. Logically, the idea is you need to be able to beat the game with just your Chozo locations. So the 21 Chozo statues plus the Morph Ball location, the Varia location, the right side supers on the wreck ship, and the Ridley E-Tank. The last Chozo spot we have is that they can check before moving past Big Pink is the Spore Spawn supers, and so we're pretty certain that that should be super missiles.
Yeah,
however,
I can confirm we did see Rossu go there, and he did get another pack of super missiles. So
excellent.
Good news is
Rossu and Owl
Floaters will not be soft lock here.
No. And Rossu and Owl, yeah, they've checked some of the regular minor locations and found some supers. They aren't the logical first supers, but that doesn't mean they can't be supers.
It looks like Pizza is going to be checking some of the minor items down in Blue Brinstar and the Old Mother Brain. So we'll see if he also gets some unintended super packs.
Yeah, well,
from here.
I like this from Pete because even if he doesn't find anything here, he can use the so-called meme route to get over towards back to Big Pink, so he'll be able to get his super missiles at Spore Spawn like Sloaters did.
Right, he has checked all of Big Pink, so it's not too time-consuming of a check.
Yeah, for him, since he skipped the 230 missiles location, didn't get his initial power bombs, this is good that he's doing this. Had he gone back without having checked that, then maybe not. Maybe it would have been better for him just to go to Spore Spawn.
And so, anyways, with Sloaters checking that Spore Spawn and not finding the super missiles at Edakun's, Rossu's taken a bit of a lead, at least on the restream. Gonna get his second Chozo missile pack at Spazer. Maybe not too happy to see that, but he is got a comfortable lead over Sloaters and Owl at the moment. So we'll see how long he can hold on to that.
And this is an open race. We do have 10 runners total, so 6 off stream that are playing right now, the same seed.
Yeah, we've got some pretty solid names. I see Zeb and J-Chalk, the ones that jump out to me immediately. But this is definitely a good race. But I do think we have some of the better runners in, Sloaters, Owl, and Rossu on stream. So I'm pretty happy with who we have to watch.
Yeah.
Which, no offense to any of the runners I didn't mention. They're all very good.
Yeah.
And I would probably be doing a lot of silly things because I have not read Chozo yet.
Yeah, and just a reminder to everybody, we're going to hopefully have an open race every week. SG has very kindly given us 2 time slots on Sundays, 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and we want to reserve one of those time slots for an actual league race. This week, we're going to have a double header, a 4-way race at 7 o'clock between Let me get this right. Between Kip and Mendeler and Ploff and you. And Derp will be playing.
Me.
Yeah.
It is me.
That's right. But we want to leave one of those races as an open race. And when we say open race, it's everybody. It's not just league runners. So anybody that wants to join one of these races, they can. They just need to, if you have the randomizer role on the Super Metroid SRL channel, we ping you there. And we're also pinging the practice role on the league channel.
All right, so we had a little bit of route divergence between Rossu and the other two. Owl went up to check the power bomb item and got plasma beam.
Nice.
And Sloaters did the early X-ray check, which was pretty free with all the energy as well as bombs and spring ball,
yeah.
and unfortunately only got an E-tank. Yep. And meanwhile, Rossu unfortunately got the stand-up on Kraid, but was rewarded with a speed booster, so he won't have to do the main Norfair Hell runs if he decides to go down.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So we're still just filling these out, still looking at strategies for this. It would seem that the wreck ship maybe isn't as powerful a play because there's only 3 items instead of 4. But if you include those alpha power bombs, that actually becomes 4 items. And you're talking 4 out of 25 instead of 4 out of 34. So actually the wreck ship maybe is potentially a more powerful play in the Chozo Rando than the normal major minor split. And we're just gonna have to see how that plays out. It's gonna be interesting to see when we get to this portion of the league schedule and everybody's playing Chozo to see what strategies come about.
So Owl, first off, I want to mention he got a kind of lucky underwater CWJ, so shout out to that. But I like how he's been playing the last couple Chozo seeds I've seen him do, where he goes up to the alpha power bombs and gets that item and then goes down. I feel like
that too.
I'm not a fan of going wreck ship first in Rando, personally, so I really like how he played that, or how he is playing those, and he got rewarded with the plasma beam, which nobody else has, and we're not sure when the other runners will get them, so he may have that advantage for a while.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, and it's entirely possible they might even skip that location if they manage to be able to do. If you end up getting to the point where you're in go mode, going to the wreck ship, you may not check that. An X-ray scope at the ice beam location.
Well, that's good for Owl. He will have plasma and X-ray. If we also find charge beam, then disadvantage will be even more meaningful. We'll see if Pete decides to check the ship or just check the power bomb. We haven't really, like you said, we haven't really figured out what's the best optimal route, which I don't think there really is a best route for any kind of rando because it is random.
Yep.
But we'll see what people generally tend to do.
Yeah, I mean, there is a best route for each particular seed, but the odds of you figuring it out on the fly while you're playing, yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
There is the Varia suit at high jump, so looks like we can't really say because there's a good chance like gravity charge could be in the ship, but it looks like going down was the play. We'll have to see what else is found in Upper Norfair. And I believe Norfair Reserve is out of logic because it's not a Chozo statue, but Speed and Wave are. So.
Yes. Yeah. Keep in mind they don't have high jump or gravity suits, so right now going down to Lower Norfair would take a high jumpless lava dive. Sloaters I know is capable of doing that. I don't know about the other 3.
That is actually something I really like. I feel like going down is so much more powerful in Major Minor Split because of both the Crady tank and the high density of items in Bubble Mountain, where especially if you have Varia and Speed like Rossu does, they're all quick checks, so you just get a lot of items in rapid succession going down. So I feel like that is actually kind of fixed in the Chozo Randomizer with a couple of those items not being major items.
Yeah, exactly. Although Croc being a slightly weaker play, because we only have 1 item down there instead of 2, just the grapple beam location.
Right, so once again, that could be... I don't entirely know all of the Chozo locations off of my head in Meridia and Rex. Well, I guess I do know Rex Shape because there's only there's only
Yeah.
3.
Well, and the Meridia part is the one I feel like the one downside, the one thing I don't like about the Chozo logic is there's only 3 locations in Meridia. There's the space jump, there's plasma, and there's spring ball. And what that means is that in order to have a suitless Meridia, the suit has to be a Dragon. And for the regular season, we're setting it so that's not possible. So we won't see any mandatory suitless Meridia in the regular season. But those of you that make the playoffs, be aware they were going to turn that back on so that you can get a suit at Dragon. The suits will never show up at Plasma or Shaktul. Or I should say, the gravity suit will never show up at Plasma or Shaktul. I won't promise that for Varia.
Yeah, I believe the last league seed I've casted did have Varia at Shaktul,
Nice.
so always fun to see that one.
Yeah, when I had my my opponents in my last seed were really anti-ice clip, so I was kind of hoping for an ice clip required various Shaktul myself because I can do that trick. Alas, I didn't even find ice, so I didn't even or grapple, so Shaktul never became in logic.
Okay, so I missed what Rossu found at speed, but it looks like Sloaters is actually going down to Ranomizer through the southern route.
Interesting.
Below ice. Well, Owl's gonna be following in Rossu's footsteps and checking Bubble Mountain.
Ross found the reserve tank at the wave beam, the one Chozo reserve tank.
It may have been an E-tank judging by chat, but not sure.
Only if he skipped it, because he doesn't have a full energy. He might have skipped it at this point. He's got 6 in Varia and a reserve now.
Yeah, very possible that he skipped it.
Interesting. Sloater's just taking this route to get over to Bubble Mountain, I guess. Unless he's gonna go straight to a high jump with lava dive.
That I really don't think that's faster. I think because he has speed, he had speed to go that way anyways. He could have just gone Frog Speedway.
Yeah, exactly.
So not sure exactly what happened there, but he does make it to Bubble Mountain nonetheless. And it looks like Rossu's actually going to be checking Ranomizer. Okay, so that's what was at speed. It was the second Chozo super missile.
Ah, gotcha.
And hopefully Sloaters remembers this item here is not a major item.
Yeah,
although we know Bubble Mountain in general is kind of a bust, so... And with that reserve tank there, it's not getting much better.
No, it's not. I mean, supers here wouldn't be bad. The super count is pretty low, and we haven't seen charge beam yet. So if you're gonna go down to Ridley, you need at least. Oh, and he gets double supers. That actually might be exactly what he was hoping for, because now if he were to try to make the play with the high jump with lava dive, he has the ammo for it.
He does have spring ball, so he will be able to get through worst room in the game, as well as out of screw attack if he so desires. So it is very possible. I know Sloaters is capable of the high jumpless lava dive, although he's capable of it with the vanilla Sprite. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
We see another super tank actually at Crocky tank, which is another item that is no longer a major item.
That said, at this point, I'd rather see a super there than an E-tank if I'm Rossu.
I agree. Rossu does want one more E-tank if he's planning on doing stand-up, although he doesn't have plasma or charge yet, so maybe not. But regardless, I imagine if he comes across some more energy, he will take it.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a stand-up glitch player Rossu is. Some people will go out of their way to get that extra E-tank for it, and some people will just do it if they have enough E-tanks and not worry about it. So.
Ooh, pizza. He's unfortunately, because of the early game mishaps where he didn't check a couple of the Chozo items, he is a bit behind, but he does get his Varia, so we'll see what order he decides to do Upper North Fair.
Yeah, and Ross showing that you can do that jump without high jump boots. It is a little more precise. You have to time it a little bit better. And gets a wave beam out of it.
So I imagine we see him go up to Rex ship. He could also check waterway and potentially X-ray on the way. We'll see what he decides to do, but I don't think he will attempt to do Lower North Fair.
No, I don't think so. I actually don't see him checking X-ray without grapple or space jump. It is in logic with bombs and berry suit and this many E-tanks, but with still 3 places in the wreck ship to look at, I think I'd see him going there first.
I would expect maybe we see him check wreck ship and then check waterway and X-ray on the way out. If he doesn't find gravity.
Yeah, waterway's not going to have anything though. It's not a Chozo location. Hopefully he remembers that.
We see Sloaters after checking that speed and wave actually going the new route way to the lava dive.
Which is not quicker when you don't have air gravity suit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think it was, but Sloaters going there anyways. And we'll see how he does on the high jumpless lava dive. He is very capable of it. So let's hope
he's capable of, well, like you say, let's see if he's capable of it with this sprite.
Nice.
So far, so good. Nicely done.
Yeah, really well done from Sloaters. And I imagine, no, he doesn't even take the save there. Gonna turn off spring ball. That definitely means he's planning on doing spring ball jumps either out of screw attack or just through worst room in the game. But either way, since he was menuing anyways, he wants to turn off spring ball prematurely.
From screw attack, his only other choice of getting out is to kill GT, actually go in and kill GT and spark out. I don't think he wants to do that, so he definitely want to do a spring ball jump out of there. For worst room of the game, Sloaters is capable of doing the frame perfect wall jump there. He's done it several times, but I'm sure he's very happy to have spring ball as a backup plan.
Well, as we said earlier, he's very happy to have spring ball, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just a big fan of the item. And grapple beam at the wave beam location.
That's interesting.
Or not wave beam, screw attack.
And he could also use bombs to get out of here if he absolutely needed to. So he actually has a few choices. And first try on the spring ball jump. That one's one of the trickier ones that we have that can be in logic.
Yep. Meanwhile, we have Rossu going up to the wreck ship. Like I said, he did not check X-ray or waterway on the way, so he's gonna check this power bomb location. So is going to get that, and it looks like Owl just got a spike suit.
I wonder what he's gonna use that for. Maybe do something in Meridia.
I think he's gonna use it to check X-ray.
Oh, that's a good call. Not that it's gonna really do much for him.
Just gonna do the hundo strat of getting that X-ray, although maybe doesn't have quite as nice movement items to do that, unlike in hundo where you would have everything at this point.
Yeah.
And Sloaters actually needs to watch his health a bit. Looks like he is going for this wall jump. And I guess this is the same deal with high jump with lava dive. He's capable of it, but is he capable of it?
Oh, there he is. There he goes.
Right. And it looks
my god, what a beast.
Yep, Sloaters putting on a clinic in terms of high jumpless lower Norfair.
Absolutely.
Now, having a little bit of trouble getting through that Crocomire door. What you want to do with without high jump and with speed is you want to be holding jump and then press the opposite direction that you're facing, because that will let you do a full height spin jump. Although actually I don't know if he could do that because he's holding onto a nope, well, he's not holding onto the spike suit anymore.
I wanted to see that X-ray check.
Hey, but Pizza also gets spike suit at Croc. So we're seeing a bunch of fancy spike suit tricks. Owl's not happy that he wasted that, unfortunately.
No, not at all.
I did not see what was here. What Sloaters just got.
Yeah, he got a power bomb pack. Since it's not a Chozo item,
right.
He's probably looking for an E-tank would be my guess, because like you said, his energy's a bit low. And his beam right now is not I mean, it's just Spazer. Spazer only is rough down here.
Yeah, doesn't get to use plasma to get through these key hunters, but
And
is
Sloater's
gonna do
take
a good job
save.
dodging around them. I really like this save.
I
I've
do
been
too.
burned not taking this save before. I don't know. Lower Norfair is scary, and doing it with basically the bare minimum items is not safe. So taking
Not
that
ideal.
save is not a bad decision, even for the top runners like Sloaters.
It looks like Owl may be going for the high jumpless lava dive as well.
Yeah, that might have actually been what he had the spike suit for.
Oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to do the traditional high jumpless lava dive. I say traditional as if it's a common trick, but you know.
Yeah, I think the only main category you see this in is GT Classic will sometimes do it.
Yeah, and even then, a lot of only really the highest GT Classic runs
Absolutely.
will normally do it because it's never something you can get 100% consistent on. There's a lot of moving parts, and
Yep.
if you
Yeah,
aren't
just to
super
describe
comfortable with-
what's going on here. So what Owl needs to do is one of these Namahe flames from the right. He needs to get one to follow him all the way, take damage from it, and high jump off the spikes in the Namahe head above on the left while he's got iframes. And that's how it works. And it's really difficult to get that flame right. But it looks like he's got... Oh, he
No, not
almost
quite.
had it. And...
We
yeah, he
might see
doesn't
him
have
do a
it now.
crystal flash. He has power bombs.
Yeah, he does have the crystal flash ammo. So he'll get a couple more tries at this.
Unfortunately, gonna have to wait for his health to tick down, and since this is Varia tweaks, his health will tick down fairly slowly in lava with Varia.
Yeah, because Vario gives extra protection for environment to make up for the lack of environmental protection of the gravity suit.
Rossu, we actually haven't been looking. We've been paying attention to Owl, but he found gravity at
oh,
at
nice.
East Supers, right side Supers.
Wow, I would be just booking it out of here at this point if I were Rasu. Yeah, I mean, high jumpless gravity jump is not, by no means free, but it's certainly not what Owl's trying to do right now with the high jumpless lava dive. I mean, charge beam could be up there or ice, but you know, this thing has been pretty ammo heavy, so they've. I think I would just get out of here, but he's gonna keep going.
Well, he has gravity as well as a lot of health, so this check here is pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I imagine we won't see him go all the way up to the wreck ship reserve, or not reserve, the wreck ship reserve missile. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the wreck ship missiles near gravity.
We'll come up with a name eventually, but
we're gonna have to because we're gonna be seeing that item a lot. Oh, an ice beam for sloaters.
Ice beam. We saw Rossu get that screw attack.
That'll make his lower Norfair just got a lot safer.
Yeah, his Meridia and his lower Norfair are going to be a lot easier with that screw attack. And so he's really just looking for charge and high jump or space jump to make a lower Norfair a bit easier to traverse. Meanwhile, we've actually got Pizza also going down, which also unfortunately we now know is maybe not the play, as we do see Rossu not going to check the item that has a name that we haven't came up with.
The gravity missiles, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, we could just call it
something.
We could just call it like the gravity statue or something like that. Gravity Chozo statue. I don't know. We need to consult the experts in Twitch chat to come up with a name. And Owl, this looks good from him. Oh, just barely misses that wall jump. So actually, that last wall jump there to get onto the ledge, if you go too high, you actually get hit by the Namahe flame. And if you go too low, you just don't have enough wall jump frames to comfortably get that wall jump. So that's just another way this trick can fail. If you don't KO through the flame, you don't get it. If you don't wall jump up the spikes fast enough, you don't get it. And even if you get all of that, you can still mess up the last jump. You can be too good and be too high to get the trick.
Yeah, it's a difficult trick.
Yeah, we'll see. We do see Pizza going for it as well. Like I said. Doesn't look like Rossu's gonna check that X-ray, which he doesn't need to. He has... Well, he is go mode in everything except killing Mother Brain. And also, we know it's just an E-tank, so it is the right call, even if he doesn't know it.
So Slaughter's seeing a super pack in the power bombs in jail location. He may be already thinking in terms of going chargeless, so let's see if he picks that up.
Yeah, I fully expect him to. We don't know where Charge is, and he has basically everything besides Charge that he needs, although without Plasma Beam, he's a little bit less comfortable if he does find Charge.
Yep. Right now it'd be a 100-shot Mother Brain fight with this beam combination. But it's one of the interesting aspects, I think, that I'm really curious to see how it plays out. In Major Minors, when you have that point in the game where you say, okay, I don't have Charge Beam yet, am I going to look for minor items and pick up ammo, or am I going to look for major items and try and pick up Charge Beam? It's a very distinct set of items. You're either checking majors or you're checking minors. What changes here is now there are fewer locations that Charge Beam can be at, and the ammo locations might be E-tanks that don't at that late in the game are not going to help you. So it's going to be interesting to see what people do when they run into that situation. Sloaters is going to be showing us right now it looks like he's going to just go for ammo.
Yeah, it's paying off so far. He's gotten a decent amount of supers in the Lower Norfair escape. So I saw a name I liked in chat for those missiles, the coffee break missiles.
I like that.
We'll stick with that for now, although I don't know if any of our runners are actually going to check it, with Gravity being that early in Wreck Ship, and everyone except Rossu, I guess, and we actually haven't seen Owl and Pizza. Actually, Pizza, I didn't even realize he got the lava dive.
Through. Nicely done.
I don't know if that was with his spike suit, though. I don't think it was, but he made it through nonetheless, so it's just Owl that's attempting it. Of course, Rossu will have an easier time with the gravity suit. Can just do a gravity jump. Looks like he's actually trying for the lava spark, but he has a backup.
Yeah, if you can do the lava spark, that's a good thing to try. Oh, he almost had
just too late. I think I think that damage boost was a little bit too late, though. I don't know if he would have gotten it, even if he got the last frame spark.
Yeah, now, by no means is this free, but it's a lot easier than trying to do the high jumpless lava dive, and Rossu makes it up there very easily.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's just Owl who's not quite able to do it.
So it looks like Sloaters is going to check Ranomizer. Find that interesting since he's already starting to look for ammo only. Of course, for his point of view, it could be gravity suit, it could be high jump. We said earlier that the runners will never be forced until the playoffs to do suitless Meridia, but Sloaters, being very good at things like suitless Meridia, if he finds high jump here, which he won't, but if he did, I could see him just going suitless.
Yeah, high jump is probably in Meridia. The only other places it could be is Waterway and...
nope, not Waterway.
Can it not be Waterway?
Waterway's not Chozo.
Oh, why was I thinking it was?
Because Waterway is that location that we always leave because we don't have speed booster. It's really annoying. So it's nice we're having to worry about it in this logic.
Well, I was definitely mentioning Rossu checking Waterway earlier, but I guess I was incorrect. So the only place it can be outside of Meridia is the bowling missiles or whatever.
Coffee break missiles, bowling missiles, whatever we're going to end up calling. Bowling missiles isn't bad.
Yeah, realistically, that's probably the best name since it is under bowling. So
yep.
There's a couple different spins we could put on that, but you know, we'll leave that to the community. The name will settle in eventually. So unfortunately, what I'm noticing from Owl is that he's trying to wall jump off of the last little ledge below the Namahe too early. So he's not quite getting the wall jump frames and therefore not getting the wall jump.
That's pretty rough. And Sloater's just gonna pick up Wave Beam here, I believe that's what. Yep, just gonna pick up Wave Beam.
He's not going to be too upset about that, though.
Wave Beam is nice to have.
It's a nice item.
It's one of those items that you really miss it when you don't have it. And it's one of those items that, I mean, it will take his, if he does find Charge Beam, it will take that fight down to a 60-shot fight instead of a 100-shot fight. So that is a difference.
He saw that super missile there, and he wants it. He's actually really close to ammo go mode.
Yeah, he is.
So I imagine once he sees gravity at the ship, he will pretty much immediately go to Meridia.
Oh, yeah,
there's a lot of minor items that you can check easily with Speed Booster in Meridia, and so I imagine we'll just see him do that, and then maybe check the back of Dragon, but he'll be hopefully go mode by then. For his sake, hopefully. Unfortunately, just a missile at the PBs of shame. I'm sure we saw that from Sloaters, but I didn't. I think that was while we were paying attention to, Rossu find gravity and Owl.
Yep.
Owl's got the lava dive, by the way.
Nice.
So I missed exactly what happened, but we explained how the trick works. So, assuming Owl, got that wall jump, and is now entering Lower Norfair.
And Ross showing us an X-ray plasma use. Turns out that just isn't just for boss fights.
Yeah, unfortunately, he might have been X-raying a bit inefficiently. So you actually have to wait about 20 frames before X-raying again, and because the enemies do have iframes. So he might have been X-raying a bit too fast, and therefore didn't quite kill the pirate before the beam went off screen. But didn't have that much health left, so just finished it off in a couple more shots after the X-ray. It's a lot easier with charge because there's only a couple hits that are needed.
And we have dueling Ridley fights from Rossu and Pete.
Yeah, you can see how much the gravity suit and screw attack are speeding up the Lower Norfair for Rossu. Already caught up to Pizza. Also not having to do the lava dive.
Yep.
Just needing to do the gravity jump. Yeah, Sloaters has found so many super missiles, actually. Only needs one more for technically go mode.
Yeah, the 4060 is generally considered the minimum ammo needed to... Oh, and using his own refill.
I think he wants this spark. Unfortunately, does not get it. So I imagine he just goes up with Ice Beam now.
I think so. Or just wall jumps on the left side. But yeah,
right.
so...
That's the thing that
happens in Ranomizer. But yeah, the 4060 being considered the minimum because you need 36 missiles for Mother Brain 1 and 60 supers will do Mother Brain 2. That does require you to refill after opening all the doors.
Alright, so Rossu and Pizza have both picked up their Ice Beams after defeating Ridley.
Nice. And the absolute minimum for Mother Brain is a 3060, but no one wants to do that because basically it requires killing all the Zebs, refilling a whole bunch of times, breaking the glass completely, probably refilling again, and then you have exactly 30 missiles to defeat Mother Brain 1, and you can't miss a single shot, so nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sloaters is going to pick up his plasma after all, so now all of our runners do have that. And so that's nice. Unfortunately, no charge beam, and I don't know if Sloaters will find charge beam with how much ammo he has, so maybe not as useful, but still a nice item to have.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's going to find that gravity suit and just go straight to Meridia.
Yeah, I didn't see what minor item was at Moat, but there's a couple items in
I want to say it was
ship
super.
that are... If it is a super, then Sloaters is going to be pretty sad. I imagine we might see him check a few more items just to have a more comfortable ammo kill. But we'll see.
Yeah, there are a few easy items to check. He could check the ocean location on his way out. He can check the so-called spooky missiles on his way in. Those don't involve drawer transition, which is nice. And also the Baoon item could be a super missile, and the precious missiles before Dragon.
Yeah, there's a couple more too. Left side supers. If he wants, he can check Aqueduct or even Crab supers. There's a couple there. Basically, he has a lot of options, so he can play this as safe as he wants in terms of ammo.
And Screw Attack just loses its value after Lower Norfair, so skipping out on that is not going to cause him much issue.
Yep. So I imagine we do see him check these spooky missiles, or not. Maybe he thinks he's got enough, which he does, but he's confident that he doesn't need any extras.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He should be fine with this ammo count.
We do see both Pizza and Rossu also checking for minor items. Pizza is a little bit ahead in terms of... Oh, wait, no. I can't tell if that's a 3 or a 4 in the super count. It looks like it's a 3. So they're both equal in terms of super missiles.
Yep.
So... both need a few more packs. Rossu actually has some more missiles, so he's better off in that regard. But both are still on the ammo hunt. Not too much interesting going on at the moment. Sloater is unfortunately not having the best Doppler kill of his career. Luckily, he's got plenty of missiles, so he's not too worried about it.
Nope.
And so Ross only has Meridia left to do.
And that will be the case for Sloaters shortly, so it'll be interesting to see if Sloaters... Right now, I'll put Ross in the lead, but Sloaters is definitely the better movement player of the two, so we'll see if he can catch up.
Well, Ross still needs a lot more supers.
Yes, he does.
So
That'll slow him
he may actually be checking, because it didn't look like he was checking any of the Main Street ammo. He's gonna check Mama Turtle. That's another 2 items he can.
And they could both be ammo for him, so that would be good. Sloaters picks up his gravity suit. And let's see, Ross, we've got a missile pack and an E-tank. Probably didn't really want the E-tank, but it doesn't hurt to have an extra one. If he happens to find charge, then he will have the right number he needs for if he wants to do stand-up glitch.
Yeah, so actually, I don't know if Rossu's gonna check it, but I think if charge is at Dragon, I think he is probably in the lead. Whereas if it's at Shack Tool, Plasma, or the Coffee Break missiles, then it may be more wide open, since Rossu will have to get some more ammo.
Yeah, and as expected, Sloaters gets his gravity suit, did check the left side missiles, and then just decided to leave, and I think that's the right call for him. We might never find out what is at that coffee break location.
Just a power bomb at the first aqueduct.
Yeah, it's really hard to skip those. I'm sure he tried. But
There's
super is the second one. That's good.
Just needs a couple more. Technically needs a missile and then 3 more supers or 4 more super packs and no missiles for go mode. So 4 packs of ammo. We'll see where and when he gets those, or if he gets charged. Actually, this ammo isn't ideal, so he is taking a bit of a farm before Batoon. This is giving Sloaters a bit of a chance to catch up.
Yep. Without charge beam, you do need to be wary of soft locking. He should have more than enough ammo for this. Although I find if I run out of supers on Botwoon, all I have left is regular missiles. So he's much harder to hit with regular missiles, in my opinion, than with super missiles.
Yeah, Botwoon, once he picks up to full speed with regular missiles, is not an easy fight.
No,
So
not at all.
it could even be worth for Rossu if he's super worried to open up the fight with missiles, potentially. But he's not going to do that. And he gets a nice 2-round Botwoon. Nothing too drastic. There's an E-tank behind Botwoon. I don't imagine we'll see anybody pick that up.
I don't believe so. Sloater's close behind.
Yeah, Sloaters isn't going to have to spend time refilling. He's got much more ammo on hand.
Yep.
So that's a nice little time save over Rossu, who, once again, like we said, does not have the ability to kill Mother Brain yet. And so, yeah, this Dragon item could decide the race, potentially. Rossu wants this missile just in case, I think.
Yep. Yeah, because 55-55 works the same as 40-60, basically.
Yep, it does force you to use missiles on Mother Brain too, which can be kind of scary.
Yep.
But it is go mode nonetheless.
Yeah, it does also force opening the doors and refilling too.
Floater's going for the high jumpless halfie. It doesn't quite get it, unfortunately. But it would have been cool.
Yeah, haven't seen space jump, haven't seen high jump, haven't seen charge. I think the only locations we haven't, there's only 4 locations we haven't seen, so those got to be showing up soon. So if you're Sloaters, do you check behind Dragon? I mean, Rossu has to, because if it's charged, that he needs that. If you're Sloaters, there's 3 items out of 4 that are at least useful. Do you check behind Dragon?
Honestly, it might be a mental thing for Sloaters where he definitely should, but he might almost be scared of it being charged after all the time he spent collecting ammo, where he doesn't want to check it.
Sure, that makes sense.
So I think he should. I don't think he will.
Yeah, I've actually made that call before, where it's like you have so much ammo, it's like it'd just be an insult if it were charge beam.
Meanwhile, Rossu has finished up Dragon and does a little spark into the wall for style points.
Now let's see what's there. High jump boost. That's a nice. That's a very nice thing to pick up. It's
So
not really what Ross was looking for. Oh, and a nice quick grapple kill
at
with
all.
Sloaters.
So if Sloaters doesn't decide to check this, that's actually pretty big for Rossu. It will allow him to at least have better movement through Turian.
Yeah.
He's still got plenty of minor items to check. He could potentially check the beach miners in Meridia, Beta power bombs, Criteria power bombs. I don't know if he checked Gauntlet yet, although that's just missiles.
But even missiles would help him out at this point. But he needs a lot more missiles. Because basically he'd have to make up 20 super missiles, he'd have to have 60 missiles. So he really needs supers.
Well, I missed it, but Tracker says he picked up high jump.
No, they both.
Looks like he did.
Yeah, they both picked it up.
Okay, so Sloaters is also going to have the nice Turian movement. We'll see if he goes for the baby skip.
And Rossu is going to go for plasma beam, hoping it's
he might just think he doesn't have enough ammo and wants to tunnel on finding charge.
But yeah, this is what I was talking about before. So every minor location has a chance of being an E-tank or a power bomb, which doesn't help him. So his odds are better with like we said, there are 4 locations that we haven't seen. He's hoping he didn't leave charge beam behind at the wreck ship. If he did, then that's going to spell trouble for him.
Oh, sloaters. Not sure what happened there. Did he run into a snail? Or
Yeah,
what?
yeah, that'll happen. He does manage to miss the power bombs, which is nice. Picks up the extra super pack. That'll put him in a situation where he doesn't have to refill at all in Torian. So that'll put him. I don't think he's gonna check any other minor items.
Yeah. He could have actually soft locked there, I believe. Those speed booster blocks
Yes.
will respawn.
Yes, they will.
And Rossu finds space jump at plasma meanwhile. So
Ouch.
charge is either at
Shack tool or
Shack
the
tool or
coffee break
bowling missiles.
Yeah, bowling missiles.
I mean, I think bowling missiles is the way to go. It's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
think so.
shorter.
It's easier to say. Coffee break is kind of fun, but yeah, I think you're right. I like bowling.
Meanwhile, Pizza gets that nice spark to the Main Street missiles. Unfortunately, it is a vanilla missile, but that does bring him to that target 40 missiles that he wants. And Ross might be checking Shack Tool. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up.
I think he is. Let's see which way he goes.
He's checking Shack Tool.
Checking Shack tool.
Well, this is I think Sloaters has sufficiently pulled into the lead, but this is
Yeah.
still pretty big for Rossu. He's got high jump and space jump, so we can get in this get up.
Yeah, no
the
worries
shaft
getting in there.
much easier.
And Slaughter's having a slight palette change of the ship, being a blue ship instead of the normal yellow or gold ship. Meanwhile, Pete making his way through Meridia, Owl going up Red Tower. He's no doubt going to go. He'll go to the wreck ship, I suspect, since he doesn't have his gravity suit yet.
Yeah,
And just for reference, no one else has finished this race. So Sloaters has a good shot at finishing first. We'll see if anybody off the restream can snipe him.
Yeah, unfortunately for Owl, all the time he spent doing that high jumpless lava dive is really hurting him now. As you see Rossu and Pete pulling
and
ahead.
There it is,
and
charge beam. And Rossu now in go mode.
I believe that means it was just the last Chozo E-tank at bowling missiles. So good call to skip that after all. Sure, with all the E-tanks they have found anyways, I imagine they're not too upset to not have that one. Although actually Rossu doesn't know what X-ray was, which also was an E-tank, so... If I'm gonna be honest, whenever I think Chozo, I'm used to running a door randomizer, and how the Chozo, how the items work in that is it's if the item's in a Chozo ball rather than in a Chozo statue.
Yeah.
So for like certain ammo difficulties, I guess it's if the item's in plain sight, it's normal value. If it's hidden, it's like 1 or 2, and then if it's in a Chozo ball, it's doubled.
I see.
So, for example, if you found, let's say, I think Sloaters may have gotten grabbed at the end. Nope, he's good.
No, he's good.
But for example, Edakun power bombs, because it's in a Chozo ball but not in a Chozo statue. If you found, for example, super missiles there, you would get 10 super missiles.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of minor item logic you put on for the door randomizer, but that's what it can do, at least. So that's where a lot of things, that's where a lot of confusion, at least for me personally, comes from.
Yeah, that makes
I
a
guess
lot of sense.
maybe not a lot of people have a ton of experience with door randomizer, but I do. So yeah. So Beat's also gonna get those high jump boots.
Yep. His ammo's also not great, so we'll see if he goes ammo hunting or if he goes for charge beam.
Yeah, Sloaters missed a couple missiles, so he had 3 supers extra, but I believe he only has 2 now that he can afford to miss. Doesn't look like he's gonna miss any though. I'm just gonna
Looks like
damage
he gets
himself
through
down.
just fine.
And as far as we know, Sloaters is in position to win the race. And honestly, there wasn't a ton of ways to play it better. Not sure what that sprite is doing, actually. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, I find that sprite really creepy, so... But we said at the beginning of the year that the runners could use sprites, different sprites, so, you know. They want to use that sprite and have to watch it while they're playing.
Well, but anyways, I don't really know how Sloaters could have routed it better.
No,
I
I
think
agree.
he made a lot of good choices. His execution through Lower Norfair without high jump was really good, and he got good Mother Brain, good cutscene. I think so, at least. Maybe not actually. Yeah, actually, it doesn't look like he did. I'm silly. Meanwhile, Rossu has already made his way pretty deep into Turian at the baby. We'll see if he gets baby skip or not.
Yeah, let's see. Looks like Pizza's leaving, so it looks like he's gonna check, he's gonna go for ammo collection. Did not go to Plasma, is not going to Shack Tool. He's gonna check the beach and the watering hole items right now.
Yeah, so Pizza is doing what I expected Rossu to do. And Rossu, he does get grabbed by the baby, actually, so he's got a bit of slowdown going on. We'll see if he decides to meme it up and finish with the slowdown, or if he wants to do a quick save and reset.
Yeah, the only way...
There's a nice save station right here.
Yeah,
so
basically,
he'll be okay.
that happens when you get grabbed by the baby as you're going through the door transition. So Rasu can either finish slow, and you can finish slow, or he can save and reset. Looks like he's going to go for the save and reset and play it safe. And Owl going to the spooky missiles after he kills Fantoon, which is much, much more dangerous. Kind of becomes Spike Your Death Part 2.
You can actually reset. Oh, I'll let you finish, my bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, he did get a super pack out of it, at least.
But anyways, you can actually save and reset a lot earlier than Rasu did. He actually waited for the save complete box to
Yeah.
disappear before he reset. You can actually reset right after you save.
Yeah, you gotta be careful on the ship when you do a ship save. Not that you would do that for this situation, but you have to wait a little bit longer for the reset on that, so... And Sloater's finishing up. With an official SRL time of 1:02:56, and he says, "I hate Chozo Rando, laugh out loud."
Yeah, GG to Sloaters. Looks like, judging by SRL, we might be seeing another off-stream runner finishing shortly in Zeb. I'm assuming he might be pre-typing .done and going through the escape.
Yeah, you must be on the Mibit client. Do you have the thing where you can see that someone's typing? See, I can't see if anybody's typing on Hex Chat.
Yeah, I like Mibit. Mostly because I'm too lazy to actually set up an IRC client, but you know.
That's reasonable. I like having something that's not on a web page, so.
I don't know. Maybe it gets the job done, so.
Yep, that's what's important, right?
I'm good with it. Looks like Rossu's going to be doing the stand-up glitch. Of course, he did find Charge Beam, so that is an option to him.
And he does have 7 E-tanks to do it with.
Right, that scared me a bit. He went off the wall right before the baby attached to Mother Brain.
Yeah.
He could have gotten locked in place and slowly floated to his doom, but he adjusts himself in time.
So Pizza looking at Gauntlet, still trying to find those last few supers that he needs. I think this is a super and a missile, which will just barely put him in go mode. Oh, it's 2 missiles, that's right. So he still needs a super pack. So he'll have enough missiles. He still needs at least 1 more super pack to actually put him in go mode. So this is a really bad situation because there isn't a whole lot of miners left to check at this point where he's at.
This is what good cutscene actually looks like. You can see how high Mother Brain's head was there on Rossu's screen. Got frozen in a pretty interesting position, and that's not technically that's not the sign of good cutscene. It's at Mother Brain's feet. Like if her front foot isn't slightly behind the wall, it's good cutscene. But that's generally one of the telltale signs of good cutscene.
Oh, and Owl also getting stopped by a snail, trying to check the aqueduct items. Looks like he's just gonna go for a snail clip. He just feels a little low on energy. Now he's gonna go farm then. He's at 14. He's gonna have to be careful here.
Well, he's got a full reserve, so he's not in danger per se. So, despite what I said, looks like Rossu. Oh, never mind. There it is. Off screen, Zeb has finished in 2nd place. Official time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 18 seconds. Unfortunately, we did not get to see that, but Rossu won't be finishing too far behind.
No, not at all.
Unfortunately, we did have a couple forfeits this race. Nanaya? I don't know how to say that. And then, I don't know how to say that name either. Kejada?
KJ. And
KJ.
Kath. KJ and Kath.
Well, unfortunately, they both forfeit. Could have been similar to Owl, where they wanted to do some lava dive shenanigans, but unfortunately, we're not able to. Or were able to, but then died in Lower Norfair. One of the two. Yeah, doing the seed optimally was actually pretty difficult. Looks like it sounded like we just had somebody join us.
Yeah, Sloaters just joined us. Hey, how you doing, Sloaters?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. I see you just love these Chozo randos.
Yeah, the 2 I've done so far have been over an hour, so that's always fun.
Oh, I don't know, but my best time is on a Chozo rando, so casually. Rossu also joining us. How you doing, Rossu?
Hey, what's going on?
So do you see Sloaters apparently really hates these Chozos. How do you feel about them? Now that you have some clue how to run them.
I have some thoughts on this. I don't know. I kind of did some half work of picking up ammo versus looking for charge, and I think that's what cost me here.
Yeah, it didn't help. But also, Sloaters did a high jumpless lava dive, and the routing with that worked out really well for him.
Oh, wow. Fancy Sloaters.
Yep.
Well, we actually saw everyone else on the restream do a high jumpless lava dive, except for Rossu. So.
Really?
Yeah, but Sloaters did it first try. The other 2 had a little bit more trouble.
I see. Yeah, I really wanted to go into Lower Norfair with the barrier that we found, but I'm not really confident with high jumpless lava dive.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, Wreck Ship is open. I'll check it out.
Yeah, so I would say that if you're playing Sloaters, maybe going for the high jumpless lava dive is the right play, just because he's going to do it and going to do it quickly. Looks like about anybody else you're playing, maybe it's the right call to go to wreck ship, because for you versus the other two, that was a big difference. They didn't. They did go for the high jump list and had trouble with it. A few other people that I know are really good at high jump lists. I know Ponk is really good at that, and there are a few other people, Maniacal and Kip. I believe both are pretty good at it.
It's something that I might work on. I mean, like, that was basically the only reason why I had spring ball. So spring ball jumping out of worst room was not a problem.
Right. And you had bombs.
Also, yeah, bombs. So I wasn't really concerned about the rest of Lord Warfare more than getting into Lord Warfare. So yeah, it's work in progress. Someday I'll work on it, but
yeah, Sloaters, you want to talk about your Lower Norfer? I mean, textbook high jump lists. Not just getting the lava dive, but also doing the worst room in the game with the. You're getting really good at that pixel frame perfect wall jump.
Yeah, I like to give it a couple tries at least if the opportunity arises. If I mess it up a few times in a row, then I'll usually go with one of the other methods. But I mean, I'm definitely comfortable if I have no other way getting up worst room. I'll do it if I have to. It just might take a minute or two.
Oh, I'm gonna point out, Pizza realizing he doesn't have enough ammo to finish things up. He's gonna have to refill his missiles, and he's not gonna be able. Let's see, 30 missiles is yeah. You can't miss a shot. This could be you can't miss a shot. He's gonna need 15 to make up. No, he's gonna need 30 to make up for the supers he's missing on Mother Brain 2, and 30 to finish Mother Brain 1. So this is pretty dicey for him.
Oh wow!
Right,
So
and of
no
course
one
he
else been
can't
in charge?
leave. He can't leave Turian because
No, he can't.
the door is locked behind him. So he's made his decision, and
Yep.
he's got to execute now.
So I hope he saves at least.
I really wish I would have checked the Alpha Power Bomb spot in Red Tower, especially in this seed, because Plasma would have made like the Lord Norfair escape a lot less scary. Like I had to use ammo on the key hunters just to be safe. But I think that might be kind of like a good check in general, like coming up to Red Tower, even if you're going to go down, because it's only like a couple rooms away. So I think I'm going to start doing that for these randos.
Okay, Pete is gonna soft locked himself because he's trying to do a Zeb skip. He does not. This is not gonna work.
Yeah.
Is he gonna realize it? No. Oh, Pete, no, Pete, go back.
Pete, go back.
This is not gonna work. Once he defeats Mother Brain 1, he's soft locked.
Yeah, he realizes it. He realizes
good,
he does
good.
not have enough ammo. He's gonna have to kill that Zeb to get out, though. But luckily, he has missiles to do that.
Yeah, the
You should just go ahead and kill all the Zebs, right?
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. But yeah, the check Red Tower before going down seems like it's going to be a good play for Chozo. Also, a couple of us were discussing, the wreck ship. If it may feel like you're only getting 3 items out of the wreck ship instead of 4, but if you include that Red Tower location, then it becomes 4. But also, it's 3 out of 25 instead of 3 out of 34, 4 out of 34. So the percentages are actually pretty much the same. Which I find kind of interesting. The wreck ship, maybe doesn't seem like as good a play in Chozo, but maybe it's as good or better depending on how you view the Alpha Power Bombs.
Yeah, I mean, Norfair loses a couple. Like the reserve isn't going to be a major item.
Yep.
The Firefleet spot's not going to be a major item. So I've kind of thought about that and maybe lean towards wreck ship more. And these Chozo randos might be a better idea because it's basically the same count and wreck ship if you include like the Red Tower as a wreck ship check.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see how the strategies start to play out because we've been playing the major minor split for over 2 years now. So getting something a little bit different with strategies just being developed is going to be fun. And J-Chalk finishing up off stream with an official SRL time of 1:12:57. GG to J-Chalk. Okay, let's see.
His comment, I can only miss 4 missiles, shoots a bunch of missiles into the ceiling.
Nice. Okay, Pete's gonna refill here, and now, like I said, he'll have exactly enough ammo. Owl, did he pick up charge beam while we weren't looking?
He did not.
So he needs to pick up more ammo too.
Maybe he did. I'm not sure.
Our
Thanks,
tracker
Ross.
has not. Yeah, our tracker hasn't marked it, so I'm gonna guess not. We do have Siberian tracking. He's one of the best in the world at it, so I trusted he would have marked it if he'd picked it up.
Yeah, doesn't look like Owl checked plasma or shack tool.
He did do some terrible things to a certain fish, though.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything.
Last I heard that one of those owners of the fish, his internet is down, so
It's prime time for some fish on the menu, if you will.
Okay, where are you going, Owl? Because you can't finish yet.
Yeah, and Owl's situation now is basically what I was concerned about with Chozo Rando. Having that indecisiveness when it comes to ammo versus charge.
Oh, and I think Pete just missed a shot there.
I don't think he did. I think that was just
It looked like the meatball got it.
30
maybe not.
FPS on stream.
Yeah, that could be.
Or at least I'm hoping for his sake.
Yeah, I am too.
And
And
it looks good.
Yeah, it looks like we're
Alright,
gonna
you
see.
got
Oh, calculated. We did get through. Well done to Pete. Yeah, it's like I was saying. I have a feeling that the play is more going to be to find that charge beam, just because 1 out of 25 versus ammo items that could still be E-tanks.
Yeah, I think I said earlier, like, I don't think checking bowling missiles is going to be worth, but maybe it is if, obviously this time it would have just been an E-tank, but just like being more thorough in major checks because there's less majors could be the strategy that people start doing. We'll see though. There's still time before the Rando League starts doing Chozo logic.
What do you guys think, Sloaters Rossu?
I agree. I feel like charge is more important than ever with this logic.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that miners not only do you find better majors, higher quality majors now with Chozo statues, quote unquote. However, miners can also be E-tanks, so it kind of reduces your chances of finding the ammo that you need if you decide to go ammo. So it's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, that's how I kind of felt too. Like, depending on finding like a bunch of supers feels a lot riskier since there's 11 E-tanks and 4 reserve tanks like mixed into it now. So
yeah, 3 reserves, but
it's
yeah, it's still a lot. Yeah, still a lot of other possibilities. Whereas before, it's like you have a 5 out of 6 chance of it being at least a projectile.
Yeah, so I think moving on, it might be not necessarily better, but I think that I might have a greater chance of success if I actually look for charge beam.
Okay, and Owl going in a similar situation that Pete did. He's got 80 missiles and 45 supers. I think he's going to have to go through the same, open up the Zebs, kill Mother Brain, or destroy the glass Mother Brain 1, and then come back with a refill. He should have a little bit more leeway once he's done that.
Yeah, he has 5 missiles more leeway.
Yeah,
but he is still going to need to break the tube and then refill.
I do believe you're correct.
In fact, if he didn't break the tube and refill, he would be 1 missile off, I believe.
That's what I'm. Yeah, because it's at 36. That's 6 to break the glass initially. That's gonna screw him up if he tries to do it without. Now we're gonna go for a baby skip. And Pete finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:19:08. GG to Pete. And just Owl. Let's see if he can handle this. Looks like he's already on the right track. I like what he's doing here. Not because he's got a reserve tank, so he can let that get him. If he gets hit, he'll just trigger the reserve and he'll be fine. And his missile count being as high as it is, he can actually go all the way through. Looks like he's going to go refill now, but he could actually have gone all the way through, kill all the Zebs, break the glass, and only refill once. The way he's doing it now, he's going to have to refill twice. And while he's doing that, I am going to go ahead and go over what's going on the rest of today. So on Speed Gaming, on the very Speed Gaming networks, right now going on is Pokemon Red Blue on Speed Gaming 1, and we have Undertale Fall Tournament going on Speed Gaming 4. And it looks like As Your Dreams finishing up on Speed Gaming 2. And then I know the SMZ3 randomizer is coming up at 3 o'clock, as well as a couple of Zelda 1 tournaments and matches coming up. And we'll be back here at 7 o'clock on Speed Gaming for a actual match. We'll have Kip versus Menelder and Derp versus Ploff. So our own Derp right here on the commentary. And what's really interesting about that race, even though they're not racing each other, Kip and Derp were 2 of the finalists from the DAB tournament. So Derp, you get a chance to get your revenge on Kip, even though it just be
yeah,
unofficial since you're not actually racing each other.
So let's just say I'm glad I'm not actually racing Kip. You can take that however you want.
Yeah, Kip's pretty good, but then so are you. So also on the Randomizer League at 3 o'clock, we have Kip playing Android Dreams and StephCad playing Balthazar, so that should be a good one. That'll be on our channel. So a lot of good stuff coming up in the next few hours today. Okay, in the meantime, Owl is going to refill. Okay, so he's got a little bit more leeway now. I didn't see. Did he break the glass completely?
He did.
He did.
Okay, good. So he's got a little more leeway than Pete did.
Yeah, he has 5 missiles more leeway, so it doesn't need to hit every shot, but still can only miss 1 super and or a handful of missiles.
Yep. Yeah, and for me, it's the Mother Brain 1 fight that scares me more. And he didn't kill all the Zebs.
Well, he can do a Zeb skip on
Yeah,
this
yeah.
here.
At this point, he can. Yeah.
So he's just fine, but needs to be careful. Turrets are gonna be nice, it looks like. And there's Mother Brain 1 down.
Yep, he's got 5 missile leeway, which is 1 super and 2 missiles. He just unloads the missiles.
Yeah, he's okay with missing one or two, but doesn't look like he's gonna miss any. Actually needs
Yeah,
to
I don't
watch
think-
his health. You can't be too conservative with just hitting shots because he will run out of health.
Yeah, he's got to stay above 3, although he has at least 1 reserve tank.
I believe he only has 1 reserve.
Yeah, I think
but
it is only 1, but he
I'm
has
not
at least 1.
totally sure. Looks good. I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
And well done by Owl. Oh, he's gonna meme for a little bit first. We'll see how long he decides to do this one. And Owl maybe looking back at his run, thinking that the high jumpless lava dive might not have been the play. And meanwhile, 64-bit Link actually going to finish off screen with a time of 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 7 seconds. I don't know what time I don't know what time Owl's actually at. He does not have a timer.
I technically did do high jumpless, but it had gravity
Yeah,
suit.
gravity suit. Yeah. Which I say all the time is by no means free, but it's a lot easier than high jumpless without gravity suit.
Rossu is just the best of us, really. He's too good.
Always winning, you know.
I figured, why do hard things when you can do easy things?
Oh, there you go. I like doing easy things too, so I would have gone up to the wreck ship. I'm not doing a high jumpless lava dive anytime soon.
Honestly, I feel like season 1, I'd probably do high jumpless lava dive, but now that I'm slightly less invested into the Rando League, I'm probably not.
Well, what's nice about it in these randos is usually you have a lot of E-tanks for it, and then because of the way the suits are changed, your health doesn't drain as fast with Varia, so you usually get like quite a number of attempts before you have to back out of it. So you don't even have to do like the bounce ball way like you would do in the GT
Yeah,
categories.
I gotta ask you, Sloaters, how is it trying to do all these tricks with that creepy emote that you're using, or creepy sprite you're using?
You know, it doesn't bother me for most things. I actually had to like go relearn the gauntlet wraparound shot and like the spot for backdoor spore spawn. The one thing it really annoys me is it's hard to see like. So when you're going for a short charge, usually Samus's legs will like start moving faster.
Yeah.
It's like kind of an indicator that you like hit the taps right.
Yep.
This sprite like does that, but it's a lot harder to notice. So sometimes I'll like try to do like the Zeb Spark or something, and I won't know if like my short charge was good enough. So I'll like kind of waste time going on attempts for that, where I'd like be able to see it and back out.
Yep. Oh, and Owl going for the blue bomber and
He had it, and
having
then
trouble.
he just canceled out of his blue. There it is.
But yeah, that's a new thing this year, getting some custom sprites going on. And actually, Kip has been telling us he's going to have some brand new, made just for him custom sprites coming up. So real excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah, we will see. I'm not personally a big fan of altered, or at least not significantly altered sprites.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I
But,
like color swap. Those are fun. Ooh, Owl going for the left side. Spark. Not quite gonna get it.
I gotta line that up a little bit
goodness.
better. Owl, come on, let's go. Oh my God, Owl, Owl.
Owl, please.
Oh my God, Owl, what are you doing?
He's doing it. He's doing it on purpose at this point.
But yeah,
I don't
I
think he's gonna live.
Oh, there we go.
I think
It
this
doesn't
is,
make
a bit odd.
Yeah, at least there's nothing else that's gonna do him damage, but yikes. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the different sprites either for this or for Link to the Past, but people want them, so we're like, yeah, oh, okay. We can't figure. Yeah, if they want them, let them have him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with them. I just personally am not a fan of using them.
No, I certainly wouldn't use them.
I mean, depends on like how different it was, like I said. Anyways, Owl gonna taunt the animals and then save him. What a guy. And he is going to finish in 7th with an official time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 40 seconds. We'll see if he does some more memes before then.
All
Maybe
right.
some existential comments in SRL.
Okay, so that's going to do it for us. But a reminder, we have another match coming up in about 30 minutes on our channel, the Randomizer League channel. That'll be it's Kip versus Android Dreams and Steph Cad versus Balthazar. And then we have another race on SG. I don't know which SG channel yet, but it'll be Ploff27 versus Derp and Kip versus Menelder. And lots of stuff coming up on speed gaming. We have SMC3 coming up. We have some Pokemon in various places, some Zelda 1 randomizer. So Undertale, all sorts of stuff for your viewing pleasure. And with that, I think I'm just gonna first, if there's anything else any of you want to add, now's your chance.
Nope.
Nah.
Shout outs to Destructor642, who was the best French Breath of the Wild runner, I think.
Cool.
I'm not sure. At least in my mind. You're number one to me.
He says he's second.
Okay.
That's pretty darn good, though. But yeah, so I'm just gonna let the credits roll, and then we'll see you all in a little bit. So hopefully for these other races, hope we enjoy them.